Hello, and welcome to the first of the podcasts, More on Leadership. I'm Graham Moore, and in these podcasts I'll be sharing with you ideas, suggestions and some philosophy around that most important of topics, leadership. So let me start this podcast with a quote. Leadership is the art of mobilising others to want to struggle for shared aspirations. And that quote comes from Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner. Maybe you didn't know, but Jim and Barry are the authors of the globally acclaimed book, The Leadership Challenge. And by chance, I just happen to be a certified master of that program. I always share that quote in my workshops. I ask participants to identify the words in that quote that stand out to them. Of course, mobilise is one of the first they identify. Mobilise means to move, in this case having others move. Then the next is want to struggle. Want. Not responding to a command, but wanting to struggle. Not try or do. That might happen when you command or direct someone to perform an action. But to struggle, to give their all to achieve not what the leader has commanded or directed or imposed on others, but to achieve an outcome which everyone has wanted to achieve, that is important. That is a shared outcome, that is an aspiration. Not just the ordinary or normal, but an outcome which is higher in its purpose or outcome than the normal or the usual. But what about the word art? Well, in this case, art describes the individual's way of doing something, the art of mobilising others, and doing it in a way that not only reflects his or her personal style, but is done with the best of positive intentions. Leadership is the art of mobilising others to want to struggle for shared aspirations. I think this is straightforward, and it's a simple way of defining leadership. As this is the first of these programs, perhaps I should establish my credentials in this area. Now, although I've read a lot of books, and I continue to do that on this subject of leadership, which of course I'm passionate about, it's not just reading about it which gives me the credibility to talk in this area. At the age of 29, I had 4 direct reports and between 60 and 80 in the team over time. Now, that continued for around 17 years, and I developed an understanding of how I thought I should be leading. Some of what I was doing over time turned out okay, but like all leaders, I'm still learning. I've been a facilitator full-time professionally for over 20 years, around about 22 now, and I'm a certified master of the globally recognised leadership development program, the Leadership Challenge. Here's just a little about the Leadership Challenge that Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner set out on nearly 35 years ago. They asked the question, what makes ordinary people great leaders? And so began their research, which has continued for all the time since. They wrote the book, The Leadership Challenge, which, by the way, was released in its 6th edition this year, May 2017. And the book has been voted as being in the top 5 best leadership books of all time. Yeah, not bad at all, huh? What continues to impress me, as it did from my very first exposure to it, is the extent of the evidence-based research and the stories of those who are achieving great success. I've read 3 editions of the book, and I continue to learn from the experience of others. But I also learn when I hear of stories of success from those who've attended my Leadership Challenge workshops. What I hope to do in these podcasts is to share with you my approach to leadership and also the experience and suggestions and the ideas and even the learning of other leaders, all of which is intended to help you become a better leader. And that applies, as I'm sure you know, to you at whatever level you're at now. In the Leadership Challenge, Jim and Barry clearly make the point that leadership is everyone's business. So, this is for the leader that you are. As a leader, how do you start your day? No. I mean before you get to the office. Okay, Even then, you check your phone for the emails and messages, right? Even before you get to the office. What I want you to do is to think about the day ahead. Rather than confronting with or going over the busy agenda of the day with all that you've got to achieve in the next 8, 10 or more hours, I want you to spend 5 minutes, yes, 5 minutes in what I call you time. We could also call this the start of leader time for your day. It begins with the mindset, if you like. What are most people like you doing before they leave for the office or their place of work in the morning? Yeah, okay, typically in your mind you're going through all the issues that could come up in the day ahead. You plan what's likely to happen, the meetings that you've got planned, the questions you'll be asked, and of course there's the issues that have been carried over perhaps from yesterday. And then of course what lies ahead tomorrow and the rest of the week. This, by the way, is the start for many people of the stress conditioning that they live with each day. I want you to change that. And I'm confident that what I'm about to talk about or to suggest will get great results for you. Okay, I know the early morning things you have to do. You're rushing to have a shower, get dressed, grab a healthy breakfast, of course, and then out the door. But here's the power of 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what am I going to do today to bring out the best in the people I lead? Think of those you're leading individually and identify what actions you can take, what words you can use to get the best out of them. Why would you do that? Well, in simple terms, your role, your function, your responsibility as a leader is simple. It's to get the best out of others. That's what leaders do. And this is your 5-minute action plan for success every day. By spending 5 minutes at the start of the day thinking about what you're going to do to get the best out of them that day, it's like planning the gift you're going to give them to help them have a great day, achieving more for themselves and for you and the organisation. It's like you're plotting your success for the day. So what sort of things might you consider? After all, this is an action plan. Well, here's some examples. Today I'm going to spend 10 minutes individually with 2 of my team asking how what I do affects or impacts on their performance. Okay, here's the next one. Today I'm going to identify at least one task I do and give an opportunity to one of my team to learn about that. Here's the next one. Today I'll find an opportunity to talk about the vision I have and how I see the team as part of that vision. Okay, that's just 3 examples. I'm not suggesting that you need 3 objectives. What I've given you are just examples. You may even think about one thing that you can do that might take a bit more time than what I've just suggested. Then, of course, you have to make sure you do it. Action is what counts here. You may have heard this question. If 12 frogs are sitting on a log and 5 decide to jump into the water, how many are left on the log? Well, the answer, of course, is no, not 7. The answer is 12, because 5 decided to jump, but they just didn't take action. Leadership is action. It's the things that you do. So to make this 5 minutes at the start of your day really work for you, I'm going to suggest this. In that 5 minutes, write down what you're going to do that day. 1 or 2 or more actions. Simple but effective. Then at the end of the day, let's call this self-accountability. Look at the short list that you wrote in the morning and check off what you did. Even make, a short comment about each one. Make this part of the way you start your day, because I know it's going to impact positively on the people that you lead. And now to what I call leading and managing opportunities. What I'm about to share with you is from a book called The Book of Leading and Managing Opportunities. Of course, an opportunity is defined as a chance to do something. And I believe as leaders, we should always be looking for that chance to do something. And I've set out over 100 such opportunities which I believe leaders should never miss. So here's this week's opportunity. Never miss an opportunity to listen to each individual who's part of your team. Listen to their concerns, their suggestions, and above all, listen to their aspirations. The most valued and respected managers are those who listen to their teams. Listening sometimes isn't easy, especially listening with depth and intent. Listen for what's really important to them. Really listening to their suggestions with openness and free of judgment may open up significant possibilities. Listen to them. Encourage them when they talk about what they aspire to achieve. Here's my guarantee. I guarantee when you listen to those that you're leading on a regular basis and with an open heart as well as an open mind, you will discover a gold mine. That's it for this week's More on Leadership. Until we're next together, remember, you bring out the best in the people you lead. You can make a positive difference every day as a leader.